Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back with the XR8. We've bought a heap of parts for it to take it up to the next level for next year's racing. Let's get into it. So, welcome back guys. Good to have you guys here. For you guys who are following the channel, knew that I've had recent back surgery and stuff like that, but we have just hit the restrictions limit, so I can finally start lifting stuff and working on the car. Now, after racing this year, learned a few things about this car that we need to get it going to make it go quicker around the track. So one of the main things with this car is definitely weight. So we have restrictions on what we can take out, but one of the things I can do, which I did do when I wanted to, do something to the car before I start making videos again. So we put in a bucket seat, which is easily 20-25 kilos lighter than the last one. Used a crank motorsport base, and we converted all the electrics over from like the airbag and the seatbelt buckle, so you don't get any lights. It's ADR approved for the seat and the base, so good to go. So that was the first thing I've done, but you'll hear more about weight going forward when I show you some of the other parts. Now, before we get into the parts I bought, some of you guys might be wondering why I'm not addressing more power. Well, here's where we're at. This is a Boss 260. So it comes out with 260 kilowatts. Generally, these make about 260, 270 horsepower factory at the wheels. So this has pacemaker exhaust system, full way through, high flow cats. It's got the big mouth intake, K&N, and it's been tuned by Dark Horse Performance. And after all that, it made 312 horsepower at the wheels. And that was before the intake. So this is probably about 300 kilowatt at the engine once you take away the drivetrain loss and everything like that. And what we have proven from last year is this is a pretty reliable combo. And the next step for going up in the engine wise is going cams, retune, and then what you risk is the gearbox not being able to take it, more stress on the diff, and it's probably about a $5 exercise to get it tuned and done properly and everything done, because you do the timing chains and everything like that. So instead of spending $5 on that, we may as well spend half that over there on these parts. And the amount of time you can save on the track, not chasing power but trying to do everything else around the engine, you can really make up some time. So 300 kilowatt is plenty to work with. Now it's just about making the rest of the car fast around it, I think. But let's get into the parts. So along with weight comes handling, which is where we move on to the next parts we bought. Now the current setup is HSD coilovers in the front. We've got some king springs and some shocks in the back, and we've got a Super Bro sway bar in the back, but factory sway bar in the front. And yeah, so it's a bit of a mixed combo. So now it's time to finish up the combo. What we got is we got the Super Bro sway bar for the front, so that'll match the one that's in the back. They're both fully adjustable. To go in with that, we've got the Super Bro sway bar links, and that should finish off the combo. Handling wise, means I can lower that back down just a touch, not a heap, but that will actually finish off the handling. And the coilovers in the back, now these ones in particular are actually quite different because they're going to change the way the factory rear setup is set up. Now usually underneath here you have a shock and a separate spring, and when you look at these new ones, that puts them all in one, which is going to change the whole dynamic of the car, but also make it really adjustable and a lot easier to work with. But as we go along, let's have a look at some of these parts. So we'll open her up. So this is the first time opening up myself, but as you can see, it's an all-in-one coilover for the rear, which will be pretty cool. This should really step things up to the next level for the handling of the car. Once you put all the sway bars, HSD coilovers all around, yeah, she's going to be cooking handling wise. And the big problem we were having with handling was understeer. Now the body roll from the sway bars being stock didn't help with that. So, and also I learnt over the whole season tyres and everything didn't really help with that. So what we were running before for tyre wires was a cheap Kenda semi-slick on the back, and then Nitto NT05 which were on the front, which I rated those NT05s. So I only really got to heat cycle them once or twice. So they're down the bottom here on my spare rims. They're still good to go, so they're going to go on the back. But what we have for the front is one of the better tyres you could probably get for what we're working with. This is a Nankang CRS, and these are a competition tyre. Still 200 tread wear, still can drive them on the road, but if you look at them, and they're a bit more suited to the wet on the front than the Nittos are, but they have a similar sort of heating up characteristics and stuff like that. But we're looking at like 500 a tyre, so there's just $1,000 in tyres, so that's why we haven't gone all around. We may as well get our money's worth on the back out of the Nittos. So that is one of the main things that actually helps with handling. Is I'm really looking forward to getting out on the track, heating up these semi-slicks with all the suspension set up, and then seeing how much we can really push it while also taking some weight out of that. And going back to the coilovers, they're 9 kilos, both of them together. So we're talking at least a 10-15 kilo weight reduction in the back there. And even these tires weigh 2 kilos less than like a normal factory tire. So we're taking off kilos all the way around where we can. Now, just because I'm not addressing the engine power wise doesn't mean I'm not addressing the engine. We did get a nice new K&N because they come with a pod filter in that air system. We pretty much replace spark plugs every 3 rounds. So got some platinums, and I haven't found a difference between iridiums and stuff. They all sort of seem to, after about 3 rounds of racing, you drive around normally, they'll start coughing a little bit. So I just shove whatever plugs that work, which I've tested these and they do work. You obviously get some that stuff to help look after the engine, and we always service it super regularly. So the engine does get treated well, it's just not getting any more power. You know, you actually get power from servicing your car more actually. So at the end of the day, it's something, but that's not the last thing we're going to move on to. We also have braking. Now, one of the biggest things with braking is tyres, and when you get better tyres, it makes your brakes work harder because they got more grip to brake. So last year we did the factory upgrade of putting the bigger discs on there, but the non-slotted ones didn't really cut the mustard as far as disc goes. So what we did get is, if you look in here, we got these J slotted rotors. They'll go on the front, and we have also brought in DBA Extreme Series pads. They're on the way, they haven't turned up yet, they didn't make it for the video, but we're going to have them all around. And what we have bought is rear calipers, brand new rear calipers, because currently all of my bleed nipples all the way around the car are screwed. So I can't even bleed the brakes, and I haven't been able to. So that's going to be good. And then because the fronts do most of the work, I decided to get some quite good front calipers, and we've got DBA Street Series calipers. These are about double the price of these. These are just a factory replacement. These ones are actually much better, but we'll whip them out and we'll have a look. So these are the rear ones. Good bleed nipples. But yeah, they look like they'll do the job. All new pieces. Definitely prefer them to the old ones that are in there. So that's the rear ones. And these are the DBA Street Series front calipers. So we will have to take this mount off and put the bigger one on there, but yeah, these are a nice bit of kit, and then I'll be able to trust the brakes all the way around. And finally, to finish off going with the discs and the calipers, we've got some braided front lines, because the front does most of the work. So some nice braided lines, new calipers all around, new discs on the back. My back discs are fine, and they literally do no work, because I put a standard like Brembo set of pads in there, and they last all season, whereas the fronts would go for a set of pads almost every time out on the track. So that's why we stepped it up to the DBA Extreme Series pads. And yeah, that's going to complete the combo, taking it to the next level. And yeah, she should be good, the Falcon. So guys, video is going forward. We're fitting all these parts up, which is going to be good. We've only got just over 2.5 months until the season starts, so we've got all that to look forward to. And a couple of other exciting things to look forward to on the channel is we've actually got a sponsor coming on for the car. So we're going to get some livery going and everything like that, which is pretty exciting. And another really exciting thing is finally Albany has got a racetrack. So Albany Motorsports Park has just opened up. They've just laid their track down, so really hoping that next year that this track will be a part of our series, and then we'll get to experience a new track, and who knows what else content I can do if there's a track here. So really looking forward to that, looking forward to making videos, putting this stuff on and getting back on the racetrack. So as always guys, thanks for watching. Till the next one, see you later.